What's up, you guys? All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to do a push start or a rolling jump start. However you want to think about it, or whatever you call it, what we're going to do is we're going to roll the truck, pop the clutch, and start the engine that way because, in this case, my battery's dead. Now, whether you have a dead battery or maybe the starter's not working, you turn the key and nothing happens. Either it goes and it doesn't start, or it doesn't even go. So with a manual transmission, you don't need actually to jump start it with a battery or with another car that's running. You can do a rolling push start. And so I'm going to show you how to do that in this video right now. So how does this work? Well, the battery is needed to start the car, but once the car is running, it generates its own power from the alternator. So right down here is the alternator. So while the car is running, this is generating all the power the car needs to run the lights, to run all the AC equipment, and to recharge the battery. So sometimes if you have a bad alternator, it's not recharging the battery, and it's also maybe not providing enough AC, enough power for different things that are powered while you're driving. But in this case, my only problem is that the battery has died. And so I'm going to do the rolling start. And what that means is the car's going to be rolling, and then I'm going to pop the clutch out. And when I pop the clutch out, it's going to start turning the engine. So now the belts are going to start turning. And right away, the fuel pump is going to start pumping fuel. The alternator is going to start generating power. And the car's going to hiccup for a second. It's going to kind of jump a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the engine's running. And now we're able to drive or well, presumably do whatever you were going to do. Go for a drive and then start recharging the battery. Now, people will say that this is not recommended. This is not a manufacturer or recommended method of starting a car that is dead. But people have been doing it forever. Now, a couple things to be mindful of. This is a 1950 Chevy pickup truck. So this doesn't have power brakes. It doesn't have power steering. So while I'm rolling the car, I'm not going to have power brakes and power steering because while I'm rolling it in neutral before I pop the clutch, I don't have any of those power accessories. Nothing is going to be working. So if you're accustomed to a vehicle that has power brakes and power steering, while you're rolling, it's going to feel a little different. So you have to be careful. Now I've got a driveway here that slopes down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the car this way and then get it going down the driveway. And then I'll just hop in the driver's seat. I'll let it start rolling and then I'll pop the clutch out. And I'll show you doing that. You can do this in first gear. You can do it in second gear. You can do it in reverse. Although in reverse is even probably riskier because then you're rolling backwards. But in any case, I'm sure people in hilly areas like San Francisco have been doing this forever. You have a car, it won't start, whether it's the battery, the starter, or something else. The only thing that you should be mindful of is this won't work if your engine is seized. If you have a car that's been sitting for like 10 years and you try to do a rolling jump, that may not work because there may be something much more serious going on. But in a car like this that I drove 2 days ago, I just left the battery or left the lights on and now it won't start. This is a method that will get it going. So why don't we go ahead, I'm going to push it out here to this area and we're going to start rolling and we'll go ahead and do that jump. Now this is a cold engine, completely cold right now. And in this car, you have to choke the engine. It usually takes a second to turn over. So that all makes a rolling jump or a push start that much more difficult in this car. But it'll start. I've done it before and we'll get it going here. So let me show you how it's done. All right, so I've got it all set up here, foot on the brake. Key is turned, and we're in first gear. So now we're going to roll. And as the car starts to pick up a little bit of speed, we're going to pop the clutch out in one pop. And now we've got the engine running, and we're on our way down the driveway. And now that the engine's running, we're going to start charging, the alternator's going to start charging the battery back up. So it's a little jerk, a little pop, and then off you go, and down the driveway. We're going to go check the mail and head out and run some errands. And while we're running errands, the alternator will be charging the battery back up, and then we'll be good to go next time we want to start the car, it should start on the first try because the battery will be charged. That's how you do a rolling jump start or a push start. What's up, everyone? All right, well, if you made it to the end of this video, you must also be a tire kicker just like me. So hit that subscribe button and come over to tirekickers.com to check out some articles that I've written about some of my favorite cars, including that 23 window 1961 VW bus.